Right now, as you're watching this video, there are already over 3.5 million apps sitting in the Apple App Store, another 2.6 million in the Google Play Store combined. That's more apps than there are species of insects on Earth. And almost every single one of them is becoming obsolete. Not slowly, not gradually. This year, if you downloaded an app in the last 12 months, a productivity tool, a travel planner, a shopping assistant, there's a very real chance that by the time you finish watching this video, you'll understand why you might never need to download another app again. Ever. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This isn't tech pessimism. This is a seismic, structural shift that the biggest companies on Earth saw coming years ago and quietly prepared for while the rest of us were busy tapping icons on a glass screen. So buckle up, because today we're going to talk about why smartphone apps, as we know them, are officially dead, and more importantly, what has already taken their place. Cast your mind back to 2008. Apple launched the App Store with just 500 applications. Steve Jobs stood on a stage and told the world that your phone was no longer just a phone. It was a portal, a universe in your pocket. Developers became overnight millionaires. A simple game about Angry Birds launched $1 billion franchise. A photo filter app called Instagram sold for $1 billion before it had even turned a profit. For roughly 15 years, the smartphone app was the single most powerful distribution channel in human history. Want to build a business? Build an app. Want to reach 1 billion people? Build an aplicativo. Want to change behavior, reshape culture, disrupt an industry? There was only one answer, and it fit in the palm of your hand. But here's what nobody talked about openly during those golden years. The app model was always broken. It was beautiful, wildly profitable, and fundamentally flawed all at once. Think about what downloading an app actually required of you. You had to discover it usually through a paid advertisement. You had to trust it enough to hand over your storage space, your battery, your data. You had to remember you had it. You had to keep it updated. And if it didn't justify its little square of real estate on your home screen within about 2 weeks, it was gone, deleted without ceremony. Like a disappointing houseplant. Studies from as far back as 2016 showed that the average person used only 9 apps per day, despite having dozens installed. The long tail of the app economy was always an illusion. The wealth flowed to a tiny handful of giants: Facebook, Google, Amazon, TikTok, YouTube. Everyone else was fighting over scraps. The cracks were there, we just weren't looking at them. Then, in the early 2020s, something began to shift. Quietly at first, then all at once. It started with AI assistants getting genuinely, frighteningly good. Not the awkward Siri of 2015 that misheard your requests and opened the wrong app. Not the robotic chatbots that replied with scripted, real, conversational, context-aware intelligence that could do things, not just find things. By 2024, AI agents weren't just answering questions. They were booking travel, drafting contracts, managing calendars, filing complaints, ordering groceries, and analyzing medical symptoms all through a single conversation interface. No icons, no loading screens, no app updates at 2 a.m. And then in 2025, the dam broke completely. Apple, Google, Samsung, and Microsoft all made the same strategic pivot within months of each other, not because they copied one another, but because they were all staring at the same data. App downloads had fallen for the 3rd consecutive year. Consumer attention had fragmented beyond what any individual app could capture, and a new generation of users, people who grew up with voice interfaces and AI tutors, found the concept of navigating to a specific app to accomplish a single task almost comically primitive. Why open a restaurant app? Browse a menu, customize your order, enter your address, and confirm your payment. 6 steps across one application when you could simply say, order me what I had last Tuesday from that Thai place near the office, but skip the peanuts this time and have it handled in 4 seconds. The shift wasn't just technological, it was psychological. Once people experienced frictionless AI native task completion, going back to apps felt like going back to dial-up internet. Technically functional, completely unacceptable. So what exactly is replacing the app ecosystem? 3 forces are converging simultaneously, and together they are dismantling a 15-year-old industry in real time. The first force is ambient AI. This is AI that doesn't live in one app. It lives in your device, your earbuds, your glasses, your car. It's always on, always listening with your permission, always learning your preferences. In 2026, every major operating system has a built-in AI layer that can intercept virtually any task before it requires you to open a dedicated app. Your OS doesn't just run apps anymore. In many cases, it replaces them. Need to split a bill with 3 friends. Your ambient AI handles it without opening a payment app. Want to know if that mole on your arm looks concerning? Your AI analyzes it through your camera before you'd even think to find a health app. The second force is the web agent revolution. Remember progressive web apps, websites that behave like apps. That concept has matured into something far more powerful. AI-powered web agents can now navigate the open internet on your behalf, pulling information, completing transactions, and interacting with services across dozens of platforms simultaneously. You're not going to one destination anymore. Your agent goes everywhere for you and brings back exactly what you need. The app is a walled garden. A controlled, branded destination is structurally incompatible with this new paradigm. The third force is the hardware shift. The smartphone itself is no longer the primary screen. Smart glasses with augmented reality overlays, ambient displays embedded in everyday objects. Neural interface wearables that allow input without touching anything at all. When your interface is no longer a 6-inch rectangle of glass, the icon grid, the visual language of apps has nowhere to live. The entire metaphor collapses. Now here's where this gets personal, because this isn't just a story about Silicon Valley strategy or technology trends. This is about your daily life right now in 2026. For consumers, the death of apps is mostly good news. Less clutter, less cognitive load, less surrendering your personal data to 50 different companies with 50 different privacy policies. The experience of getting things done digitally is becoming faster, more intuitive, and in many cases, genuinely enjoyable. But there's a shadow side that we need to talk about honestly. When your AI assistant is the gateway to everything restaurants, news, medical advice, financial decisions, whoever controls that AI controls what you see. The app economy, for all its flaws, was at least a marketplace of competing voices. Any developer anywhere could build something and put it in front of billions of people. The AI layer is far more complex. Apps aren't disappearing because they failed. They're disappearing because they succeeded completely and totally at training an entire generation to expect their technology to be responsive, personal, and immediate. And now that expectation has outgrown the very format that created it. The app icon on your home screen is not quite a fossil yet, but it is undeniably on its way to becoming one. A relic of a remarkable era. The era when we organized our digital lives around little squares of colored glass and thought we'd found the final answer to how humans and technology would relate to one another. We hadn't found the final answer. We'd only found the first one. The next chapter is already being written. And unlike the last one, there's no icon for it. There's no download button. There's no home screen to arrange it on. There's just intelligence woven into everything, waiting for you to ask. And that changes everything. If this story made you think differently about the technology in your pocket, hit that subscribe button because the next chapter of this story is coming faster than any of us expected.